This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Hi everybody, and welcome in to the Southwest Outdoors Report end of season special. Yes, Santa Claus, can you believe it? We have reached the end of our 39-week season of the Southwest Outdoors Report. We'll be taking a break over the next few weeks for the cold winter months, but we will return in March of 2011 for a brand new season, the Southwest Outdoors Report. Be sure and watch our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com for the launch date in March of 2011. However, in the next half hour, we have a lot to do. We're going to be taking a look back at the 2010 season of the show. We'll be showing you some highlights from the season, some interesting and unusual things that happened on our show. We'll be taking a look at some bad news and good news that happened around our region during the year. And we'll be taking a look at some very special best of favorite fishing holes around our 4 states from 2010. It's going to be a good show in the next half hour, and we'll have special messages from all of our reporters around the region, from Louisiana, from Oklahoma, from Texas freshwater, and down along the Texas Gulf Coast. And I'll have one final LOWRANCE Hot Lake of the Week for you. We'll have some special viewer photographs of some big fish caught around our region and much more. But first, we take you back to the FSN studios. Here's Heather with the Chevy Weekend Planner.
Hi everybody, let's take a look at the Saloon-R tables to help plan your weekend fishing trip. Peak daylight hours for game fish will occur in the mornings with the best times beginning at 8 o'clock a.m. on Saturday and 8:50 a.m. on Sunday. Expect the sun to rise at 7:24 a.m. and set at 5:24 p.m. Your evenings will be well lit with the waxing moon 86% visible. Have a great weekend everybody. Now let's go back to Barry.
Thanks very much, Heather. Before we head to the next break, I want to say congratulations to Heather and husband David on the birth of baby Beckett Glenn, born December the 3rd, weighing in at 7 pounds and 10 ounces. And yes, Mom, Dad, and big brother Easton are all doing just fine. When we come back, we'll be checking in with Cajun Phil and Kevin down in Louisiana, and we'll be taking a look at some bad news and good news that happened during the 2010 season, and strange thing happened at Amon G. Carter Lake. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2010 end of season special on your Southwest Outdoors Report. We had some bad news and some good news around fishing in our 4-state region. On the bad news and good news scenario, of course, the oil spill down in the Gulf of Mexico had a tremendous impact on the Louisiana coastline, but the good news is everything is pretty much back to normal. There was very little permanent long-term damage, and the fishing is back and almost better than ever, and we'll show you some of that here in just a few minutes. Well, I'd like to say a special thanks to Cajun Phil Broussard and his son Kevin, who do a tremendous job each week, all season long, reporting on the fishing, both freshwater and saltwater, in the state of Louisiana. We're so glad to have them as a part of our team. We'll be getting to their end of season report momentarily, but first, let me set up a very unusual thing that happened to us early in the season on camera at Lake Amon G. Carter in north central Texas. I had just caught about a 2-pound largemouth bass on a plastic frog. I unhooked it, set my rod down on the boat. The frog fell back into the water. I released the bass, and as soon as I did, he swam down, bit that same frog again, pulled my rod overboard. Watch this. That is a Jean LaRue 3-legged floating frog in a bright chartreuse color, and it's dynamite around all these little weeds along the shoreline. A lot of goopy grass, and this stuff will come right through it. That's a good way to get it started. Let me mention that man, what a save. That fish, I've never seen that in my whole life. Unbelievable. I had my rod laying right there, threw that frog in there. The fish went back and grabbed the frog even after I threw him back, and I nearly lost my rod. What a save.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana Fishing Report. Well, it's that time of the year again. This is our final report for this year, and it's been a fantastic year. Captain Kevin and Cajun Phil has had the best year ever for speckled trout and redfish. Right now, Captain Kevin's having the best duck season he's had in about 6 years. So right now, it's on in Louisiana. Tell you what, it doesn't matter whether you folks want to go to Venice, go offshore, going after some tuna, wahoo, amberjack, whatever you want to go after, whether you want to go to Delacroix. Come here to Calcasieu Lake, because right now it's on there. Captain Kevin called just a while ago. It's very early in the morning. He's already got a limit of speckled trout and redfish. You know how you do this? You contact Cajun Phil. It's simple, CajunPhil@hotmail.com. Let me know where you want to go. Venice, Hopedale, Delacroix, Chalmette, we don't care where. You just let us know where you want to go. I will put you in touch with the guides, and you too can come here to Louisiana and enjoy some of this fantastic weather. I tell you what, the fishing is awesome, the hunting is awesome. Come join us. Till next time, this is old Cajun Phil for Captain Kevin, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life, by NAVIONICS. We start where the road ends. By Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2010 season-ending special episode of your Southwest Outdoors Report. What I thought we would do next is take a look back at some fishing that we did around the region, some highlights, and in the process of doing that, give you some of my best of favorite fishing spots in our 4-state area for this past year. And let's begin it all with the best hybrid striper lake. Yes, it is Cooper Lake, located in northeast Texas. This lake has come out of nowhere over the last couple of years. The hybrid striper population has exploded, and on any given day you can catch several of these out on underwater humps, ridges, and islands in front of the dam. Now let's move to the best striper lake, in my opinion, in our region. It's not what you might think. It is Lake Tawakoni, located over near Lake Fork in east central Texas. We'll show you a couple of shots here of some nice striped bass we caught there. It also has a great hybrid striper and white bass population, but the stripers in this lake are doing fantastic. Now on to the best speckled trout hotspot in our region. It's the Delacroix Island area, southeast of New Orleans. It's a marshy area, and this year it has been teeming with thousands of speckled trout. The guides there are catching them by the hundreds. It's experienced a tremendous comeback since the oil spill. And the best redfish hotspot is also in Louisiana. It's the Venice, Louisiana area, the Mississippi Delta south of New Orleans. In fact, you're looking at a couple of aerial photos of some huge schools of hundreds of redfish roaming through the Venice, Louisiana area. An incredible comeback in the red fishing population, again, after the oil spill. Well, next up, I'd like to thank the two guys that do a fantastic job of covering all of the fishing across a large area, the state of Texas. First up, Bill Olson covers all of the saltwater fishing up and down the entire Texas coastline. He covers a lot of water and brings you the hottest saltwater destinations each week. And Brian Hughes covers the entire state of Texas in freshwater fishing action, covers all of the lakes and rivers, and brings you the best of the best on his report also. We are proud to have both of these gentlemen as a member of our team. So let's head right now to your Texas freshwater fishing report with Brian Hughes, the Lone Star Lakes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brass and Blades. Now, this being our last episode of the season, I'd like to thank a few people before we get started. First, Barry for giving us the opportunity to do this each week. Second, Kurt for putting it all together and making it look like we never make a mistake. And of course, Chris, Dave, and Jeff, the camera guys. I'm not this pretty in real life. They really make me look good. Also want to thank our sponsors for this season, Snag Proof and Brass and Blades. Now, winter fishing in Texas should be pretty good if you're fishing cold water lakes. Stay with the stripers, the hybrid stripers, and crappie, and of course don't forget the trout stockings from Texas Parks and Wildlife going on all over the state throughout the winter. For the bass fishermen, either go to the warm water power plant lakes for numbers of bass, or deeper, slower, and bigger baits, try to catch that trophy fish of a lifetime. Here's wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We'll see you next season right here on Lone Star Lakes. Now, one more time, let's go out to the coast. Mr. Bill Olson. I gotta do that again. See, Kirk, this is the part where you come in. Okay, now, one more time, let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island. With its Gulf beaches, great coastal fishing, Arnold Palmer Golf Course, fresh seafood, and nighttime hotspots, Port A is truly Texas Island style. Visit the website on the screen for more information. Well, we wrap up another season of reports from the Texas coast. However, just because we're heading into winter, that doesn't mean the fishing or the catching has to stop. In winter, anglers need to pick the warmest day with light winds, sleep in a little, and fish the warmest portion of the day, say between 10 and 2. Now, the Brownsville Ship Channel, around piers, or areas with any vertical structure will transmit warmth into the water and could be a magnet for game fish. Fish slowly, just inching soft plastic along the bottom. A favorite area to fish in the winter are the deep channels of any waterfront development along the coast, as well as along the intercoastal. Don't forget your offshore options. On calm, warm days, some great fishing is available for red snapper in state waters, and the kingfish that we caught close to shore in the summer are now 40 to 50 miles out of Freeport or Port Aransas. Days with very low tides is a great time to find new potential hotspots that will pay off during the warmer portions of the year. The exposed guts, reefs, troughs, and other structure normally covered by higher tides is now exposed. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, wishing each of you a very Merry Christmas, the best in the new year, and hoping to see you on the coast.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by NITRO Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a NITRO. By Strand, the standard of dependability. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. And by MotorGuide, never stop.
The end of season special rolls on for the Southwest Outdoors Report, taking a look back the best of for the 2010 season. And let's move right along with the best bass fishing lake for 2010 in our region. It's Lake Falcon down on the Texas-Mexico border south of Laredo. But for obvious reasons, we are not recommending that you take a trip down there for the foreseeable future. There have been a lot of issues, a lot of problems, again, resulting in one death by the pirates across the border. So, in place of that, we'll give you the best bass fishing lake as O.H. Ivy out near San Angelo. O.H. Ivy has had a tremendous year with more sherlunker bass, over 13 pounds, than any other lake in our region. It would be a great fishing destination for a spring trip. Now let's move on to the best sleeper bass lake. It is Pine Creek Lake in southern Oklahoma. We made a trip there earlier in the year, and I was surprised at how good the bass fishing is. They're located on rock points. You throw a crankbait, a plastic worm, you can do very well, as you see here from some of the footage from our trip up to Pine Creek. The best smallmouth lake in our region is Lake Eufaula, but a close second to that is Lake Murray down near Ardmore. We did make a trip there early in the season, and it was a very first for me. We caught smallmouth bass suspended in 95 feet of water. The best crappie lake, in my opinion, in our region, Lake Fork. It's known as a great bass fishery, but it is, in my opinion, the best crappie lake there is in our 4 states. And the best white bass spawning run is the Sabine River, located above Toledo Bend. Some of the biggest white bass in our region move up the Sabine above Toledo every spring beginning about February. Next up, a very special thanks to the newest member of our reporter team here on the show. He is Gary Dallahan, who lives up in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area and covers the entire state of Oklahoma, all of the fishing action for all of the species that swim in Oklahoma waters. He did a great job this season. We're looking forward to much more from him. Next up, Gary's end of season report for this week, the Sooner Beat.
As the last fishing report of the season, let's talk about what you should be doing in Oklahoma in the next 2 months, the coldest part of winter, to continue to catch fish. One, a heated fishing dock is always a great option. Lake Eufaula State Park has an excellent one. Plenty of room, well lit, heated, and lots of brush down there, so it holds crappie, and anglers do catch good numbers and good sized crappie from Lake Eufaula State Park. Also this time of year, if you're fishing from a boat, make sure you dress appropriately for that. It's colder on the water. Make sure you have something over your head and covering your ears and dress in layers, and always have another angler with you. What I personally like to do in the wintertime is fish the lower third of the lake down by the dam, and I'm looking for break lines 19 to 25 foot of water when I'm fishing for bass and for crappie. These depths always seem to hold fish for me with my techniques. I like to fish either a 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce jigging spoon, white colored, and a Bobby Garland 3-inch slab slayer on a 3/16 ounce head. Both of those baits I'm bouncing right on that break line. Also in the winter time, for our blue cats in the state, 40 foot seems to be a magical depth. These fish will suspend at that depth whether they're in 60 foot of water or 100 foot of water. Look for them around there and drop your baits and try to keep them at 40 feet. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go. See you on the water.
Next up, it's time for the LOWRANCE Hot Lake of the Week, a feature we do each week where we show you a map and a great place to go fishing for the coming weekend. And in this case, it's a great place for you to go fishing all winter long. One of the best redfish and speckled trout hotspots for the winter in our region. It's the Jean Lafitte area, southeast Louisiana. So let's locate it for you right now on the LOWRANCE HDS-10, located due south of New Orleans. It's down State Highways 45 and 301, and now we switch to the NAVIONICS Platinum Plus saltwater chart for all of the detail of the area. We locate the Mississippi River that snakes southward here, and the entire area in light blue here is the marsh surrounding Lafitte. The town of Jean Lafitte is here on the south end. There are tons of canals, lakes, reefs, and marshy flats to fish, and you'll need to contact my friend Tophiel Bourgeois for a great place to stay and a fun guide trip to catch specks and redfish at Jean Lafitte, south of New Orleans, Louisiana. That's this week's LOWRANCE Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. When we come back, Heather will be back up with your Stren Ask the Pro, and I'll have several of your big fish photos on the big catch of the week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by quality award-winning Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by LOWRANCE, makers of the HDS, High Definition System, and by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Ask the Pro feature, brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability. Our question this week is from Russell in Texas, who writes, is there a certain water temperature for when the fall bite ends and the winter bite begins? For the answer, let's ask professional angler Jeff Creed.
You know, in the fall, when that water's in that 50, 55 range, that's when those fish, to me, are still going to be in the backs of those creeks, and it's still going to be crankbaits and things like that. It seems to me whenever that water starts dropping below the 50s, you start getting those really cold nights, and then they're going to start getting that winter pander to me.
Thank you, Jeff. If you have a question for one of the pros, visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Strand Ask the Pro link and send us your information. I'm going to get you back out to Barry, but first I'd like to thank you for another great season this year. Happy holiday season, everyone. Now back to Barry for our Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
Thanks very much, Heather. Our time is almost gone for the 2010 year-end review episode. Got several things left to do, but first let me remind you that during the off season for the next 3 months, you can still keep in contact with us, and we'll keep in contact with you several ways. Our website at www.southwestoutdoorsreport.com will stay up and running with updates all winter long. You can submit your Big Catch of the Week photos, your Strand Ask the Pro questions. I'll continue to blog all winter long, and you can keep in touch with us regularly, including the launch date for the 2011 season on our website. In addition, our Facebook page will stay up and running all winter long. Go to facebook.com, search for Southwest Outdoors Report with Barry Stokes. I'll continue to post video, photos, and lots of content that you will never see on the television show. Facebook exclusive content on our Facebook page. Next up, it is time for our Big Catch of the Week. Normally we do one photo here, but we're trying to get in as many photos here at the end of the year as we possibly can. So let's take a quick break and review several photos that we have not had time for, but we want to squeeze in here at the end of the season. The last thing we'll do is finish up my best of favorite fishing holes in our region for 2010, beginning with the best catfish lake. Which one is that? Cedar Creek Lake for blue catfish, and for channel catfish, Squaw Creek Lake that just reopened in June. It is a tremendous channel catfish fishery. And the best new discovery of 2010, I spent a fantastic day fishing with Gary Dollahan on the McClellan Kerr Navigation Channel, a little bit south of Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a surprisingly good bass fishery and one you might want to experience for yourself. Well, that wraps it up for 39 weeks of the 2010 season of your Southwest Outdoors Report. For our entire team, I'd like to wish you and all of your family a very Merry Christmas, best wishes for a Happy New Year, go Horned Frogs in the Rose Bowl, and we will see you in March of 2011. Until then, one last time for 2010, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.